Hello all, this is Miss Sarah from Yukon Extension, and today we're going to be learning more about animal identification as we explore 3 unique activities in our Adventures in Agriculture Summer STEM Kit. In your animal identification activity kit, you will find 2 pieces of origami paper, a plastic ear tag, and your farming connection card. This farming connection card talks about different identification types and record keeping for different species of livestock raised in agricultural operations. In addition to these materials, you will also need scissors, permanent markers, and a pen or pencil. In your animal identification kit, you have a total of 3 unique activities. The first 2 that I'm going to talk about are 2 origami crafts, and the third uses the ear tag. So you can do these in any order. I'm going to start by showing you how to construct the origami pig. So I decided to use a pink piece of origami paper for origami pig. So what I am going to do is I'm going to start by folding over the piece of paper in half and creasing it. Then I'm going to unfold it and fold it the opposite way and crease it again. So when I open it up, I should have 4 quadrants, a line from top to bottom and a line from side to side. Next, I'm going to turn my paper so that it looks like a diamond instead of a square. And I am going to fold this corner into the middle. So there should be a point where your 2 crease lines meet or intersect in the middle. So I'm going to fold this corner to meet the middle of that point. There we go, like this. And then I'm going to do it again on the opposite side. So it should look like this. Now I'm going to take my top and I'm going to fold it down to the bottom corner. I want these 2 pieces of the paper to be inside this fold. I'm going to fold it so that all of these lines line up and the points meet. So this is going to form the face of our pig. Now I'm going to go down to the bottom of our 5-sided structure and I'm going to fold up towards the middle like so. And then there's 2 pieces of our paper here now. I want to keep one folded up and I'm going to fold the other down so that we can go like this. Oh, that's not right. Excuse me, hold on. So we have the face of our pig right here. Our next step is to take this bottom corner of our 5-sided structure and I'm going to fold it up towards the middle. Keep this line nice and straight. I'm going to fold this corner back down so that the corner touches this straight line. And then I'm going to fold one of those 2 pieces of the corner back. Open it right up, like so. I now can decorate my pig a little bit. I'm going to give him 2 nostrils. You can do this if you want to, but you don't have to. And I'm also going to give him 2 eyeballs. So pigs can be identified in a few ways. and farmers use a few different methods to keep track of their piglets and their pigs depending on the size of the farm. So on big farms, pig farmers usually use ear notching to identify their pigs, and that's what we're going to do in this activity. But they can also tattoo the pig's ear, or they can use ear tags. The downside of using ear tags with pigs is that sometimes they play a little too aggressively and they can rip out each other's ear tags, and then it's hard for the farmer to identify the pig. So this is going to be our piglet, which is a baby pig, and a mama pig is called a sow, and the male or boy pig is called a boar. So this is our piglet, and a piglet is born in a litter. A litter is a group of piglets born at the same time to the same mom pig, which is a sow. So farmers want to know what number litter this pig is a part of. So say a farmer has 40 litters of pigs every year on their farm, and this pig, for example, maybe was born in the 3rd litter. And this is usually within the calendar year. And then the farmer also wants to know what number pig the piglet is within the litter. So maybe this pig was born as part of the 3rd litter of the year on the farm, and it's the 2nd pig to be born to that mom within that litter. So piglets are notched, their ears are notched when they're tiny, and even though their size grows, their head grows, their ear grows, etc., they will always keep their notches. So the right side of the pig tells the farmer what number litter the pig is a part of, and the left side, the left ear, tells the farmer what number pig within that litter. So, for example, we're first going to fold our ears down. It's a little bit easier to cut that way. So fold these corners down. You don't want to cover your eye, but you do want to have it big enough so you could cut your ear notches out with the pair of scissors that you hopefully have brought with you to complete this activity. So my pig in this example, like I said, was part of the 3rd litter born on this farm. So in a true pig or swine operation or a swine farm, there are different areas of the ear that help the farmer number them. Because if they have 90 something litters born on their farm every year, that's a lot of notches to put in one pig's ear. So there are more complex and more sophisticated ways of notching pigs' ears in a farming operation. But for our purposes, we're going to use one notch for 1 equals 1. So if we had a pig that was born in the 5th litter, we would only put 5 notches instead of doing a more complex system. So my pig is going to be part of the 3rd litter. So I am going to cut 3 little triangles in my pig's ear. Picking smaller numbers is probably easier for this activity because our origami paper isn't super big and you want to be able to fit your notches on. And I'm going to have this pig as the 2nd animal born in the 3rd litter. So I'm going to cut 2 notches on the left side. And there we go. We have successfully identified this pig. So now that we've finished our pig activity, or if you chose to do this one first, we can start with our rabbit activity. So I have my piece of origami paper. I'm going to be making a purple rabbit today. So I'm going to start by folding this piece of paper on the diagonal so that this corner meets this corner. Crease that line. I'm going to open it back up, turn it, and go the opposite way, folding this corner down to this corner. So now if I open it up, we should have an X in the middle of our paper. But I'm actually going to fold it again. You can pick which line you want to fold for our permanent fold. And I want to take the long part of this triangle and I'm going to fold it up. So however high you fold this paper is how thick the ears of your rabbit are going to be. So I don't want it super high because I want this paper to work with for the face. So I'm going to go about an inch in, going to fold that. Now, if we were to fold up, we do want to fold up this way because we want this paper to be hidden. So we're going to fold this corner up towards the top. And we're going to crease it. And we're going to fold this corner up to the top. Try to make it so that the ears are even. Now we can fold this corner back to give some shape to our rabbit's face. Then we're gonna flip it over. So it should look like this on the front and this on the back. And we are going to fold both of these pieces of this corner down underneath. So we're going to be making a crease like this, so that we get a little bit more height to our ears. So here's what it looks like underneath. Here's what it looks like from the back. And here's what it looks like on the front. So we are going to identify our rabbit. First, we're going to decorate his face. So you can give him 2 eyes, a nose, and a mouth, if you'd like. So this is what mine looks like. And then rabbits are tattooed on their ear as a way of identification. So the farm will have its own system of what numbers it wants to use. So it may be that if this rabbit was born in the year 2022, it might be 2201 if it was the first rabbit. Or they might not do it by the year, they just might do a total number of rabbits that were born on that farm. So if this animal was the 537th rabbit born on this farm, then this rabbit would be 537. You can write it right on that ear. So you can choose how you would like to identify your animal, whatever system makes most sense to you. And there we go. We have made our origami rabbit. So the third activity that is included in your animal identification kit involves the use of this ear tag. So in a real farming operation, farmers would order ear tags that have 2 parts to them. Sometimes they look like this tag part with this pin, and sometimes they look like 2 of these tags, so that when it's put on the animal's ear, one of the tags goes on the outside of the ear and one goes on the inside, so that if the animal is looking at you from the front, you can read what number they are, and if they're looking at you from the back, you can still read the number. This particular brand of ear tags uses one of these pins instead. So I did not include this pin in your kit because on the end here, this is very sharp. So this is going to be used to go through the animal's ear, kind of like an earring, and it's going to be snapped into place by a tagging tool, and I don't have the strength in my own arms to close this because it needs a special tool. But you can imagine that if this is on the inside of the animal's ear or the outside, depending on how that operation chooses to do it, this would go on the other side, kind of like if we had a piece of paper we can use as an example. This was our cow's ear, and this is the inside of the ear. We would put this, line it up, put it in the tool, and the tool would snap, just like if you were getting your earrings or your ears pierced. And then it would hold in place, and you would have that on both sides. So today we are going to be decorating our ear tag. So an ear tag can be used in a variety of different species. Cattle, it's commonly used in sheep, goats, sometimes in pigs, and it's a really easy way to see which animal you're looking at by looking at their ear tag. And it's also relatively permanent. It can be removed, and that's why it's not considered an official permanent identification system. But for the most part, I mean, this isn't going to fall out if it gets wet or fall out unless serious force of pressure is applied, which unless you would retag an animal, you wouldn't have to worry about. So we are going to learn how farmers tag their animals, and it's different for every single farm. And it's also different based on what kind of tag you're using. So for different species, there are different requirements. For sheep, they have to be certified by the state that they are free of a disease called scrapie, which is kind of like mad cow disease in sheep. So they might have two tags. They might have one tag in one ear that is from the state, that is printed by the state, that has their individual number on it, and they might have what's called a farm tag. And the farm tag, there's a lot more flexibility. The farmer can choose to put the name of the animal on, they could put the number of the animal, however they choose to identify their individual critter. So for this example, you can choose to decorate your tag however you'd like. You can make it a piece of art. You can attempt to identify an imaginary animal. So I'm going to show you that this is a common way that farmers identify their animals. So they might have the name of their farm listed on their tag. So for example, if the name of your farm was Blue Basil Farm, you could write Blue Basil Farm as an example. And then say this animal, my imaginary cow or my imaginary sheep, was born in the year 2019. I could put 1905 if it was the 5th animal born on the farm in 2019. So that's what I'm going to do, 1905. Or I could put the state certification number on here. I could put 225 if it was the 225th animal born in that farm. All is personal preference for that operation. Or I could put the name of the animal. Say this animal's name is Skittles. I could write Skittles, or the name of the animal, on the tag. So there's lots of different ways for farmers to identify their animals, but it's super important that they do because different animals perform differently. So say I had a sheep that produced 5 pounds of wool every year, and I had a sheep that produced 10 pounds of wool every year. I want to know which animal produced the 10 pounds of wool because that makes a lot more profit for the farmer. And so they're going to want to keep that animal around on their farm, and they're going to want to breed that animal so that they have lots of sheep on their operation that are producing lots of product. And it also helps when we're identifying sick animals. So if you had to give a medication to this animal, you would want to know that it was Skittles getting the medication instead of the other animals on your operation in your flock, in your herd, etc. So identification and record keeping is super important for farmers, and ear tagging is an easy way to accomplish this goal. So feel free to decorate your tag however you want. You can hang it on your wall, you can make a necklace out of it, you can make a keychain out of it, however you want to utilize this ear tag is up to you. So at this point we have made an ear tag, we have tattooed our origami rabbit, and we have ear notched our origami pig. And these are some of the ways that farmers can use to have practical identification for good record keeping to keep healthy, safe, and productive animals. Thanks, and stay tuned for the next video.